Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so nice to see all your faces. It's so wonderful to be here. Welcome to Temple Sinai's satellite Somerville campus. I'm Temple Sinai's Assistant Rabbi Talia Stein. This is my friend, colleague, and roommate, rabbinical student Sarah Blumenthal. For those who are on this summer, you met Sarah about a month ago, a little over, so she'll be joining me tonight. And we're excited to bring some old tunes, some new tunes, and some words of Torah. It's really sweet to see everyone's faces. I just want to welcome you. This weekend is a special Shabbat called Shabbat Shiva. It's the Shabbat in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And it's a Shabbat dedicated to this idea of Shuva, that comes from, it's the same root as Teshuvah, meaning repentance. So it's a Shabbat about repentance or return. We read a special Haftorah around that, and it's Parshat Ha'azinu also. And Ha'azinu is talking about it starts with a poem. Moses is about to die. Moses is standing on the mountain, calling to the Israelite people about to die, and offers them sort of a parting poem as his final legacy. And I've been thinking about that, because as we're sitting here tonight, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is lying in state right now. And since Wednesday, the public has had their opportunity to offer, to pay their respects to her as she lies in state. So I've been thinking a lot about Moses's legacy and the legacy that Justice Ginsburg is leaving behind. And even in her death, she is breaking barriers as the first Jew and woman to lie in state. So it feels particularly significant tonight. So I'm sort of calling her in right now. So we'll begin with the lighting of the candles. We're outside tonight, so it's too nice to be inside. I see a few others had a similar idea. But so hopefully our candles will stay lit, but they're over here. Do you want to light them? Great. So we'll light them and then we'll sing the blessing. I'll screen share. And just a reminder that I think you're all on mute, but I really invite you. We need your voices. We can, even though we might not be, Sarah and I might not be able to hear you, we can feel your voices. We can see you singing along. So please, please, please join us in song and in prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Again, so nice to see all your faces and be together tonight on Shabbat. We'll begin with Shalom Aleichem, the song Welcoming the Angels. And I invite you to just think about what are the angels, or which angels, or who are the people that you want to be in your hearts welcoming Shabbat with, spending Shabbat with right now. So I invite you to think of those people as we sing Shalom Aleichem. Again, please join in. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharei, Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, ay, ay. Bochem l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, ay, ay. Tzedchem l'shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We'll go now into Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitin. Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom. I love this psalm. God gives God's nation strength and blesses God's nation with shalom, with peace, or with wholeness, to be whole, to reach that level of wholeness. We're all, I think many of us are feeling very broken right now. The pandemic, the state of the world, the state of our country, feeling broken. And to achieve this level of shalom, of peace, of wholeness, we need strength. So God blesses us with strength. And we'll sing together. Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten, Adonai Yevarech et Amo. Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten, Adonai Yevarech et Amo. Shalom. Shalom. Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten, Adonai Yevarech et Amo. Adonaios, Le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo. Shalom. Continue to prepare our souls for Shabbat, the Lecha Dodi. We welcome the Shabbat Queen, the Shabbat bride, into our homes, into our spaces, into our hearts, and we get ready for Shabbat. We're ready to celebrate Shabbat, and I wanna just note one line which I particularly love. So you can see it in verse 2. It's Likrat Shabbat Lechu V'Nelcha. So come with me to meet Shabbat. Hi Mekor Habracha, forever a fountain of blessing. And I love thinking about, we're running to meet Shabbat because Shabbat is this time, is this space, whether it's in our hearts, whether it's physically or metaphorically. Shabbat is the space that is a source of blessing. So as we say, Chadodi, I invite you to think about Shabbat as an opportunity for blessing in your life, the blessings that you need. No. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Kishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litzila yanai lecha dodi Shabbat. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila lecha dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat. Verse 5. Hitoreri, Kiva orech kumi ori. Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi. Likrat kala. Penei Shabbat. Verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam segula boli chala lecha dodi. Likrat kala. Penei Shabbat. I want to invite you to take a moment, take a deep breath, and breathe in the spirit of Shabbat, the presence of Shabbat. Feel your feet on the ground, your body being supported by a chair or a couch, and feel the presence of Shabbat in your homes with you. Now I'm going to take a moment. So we've been trying something new recently, so I hope this will work. We're going to take a moment where people can you all into breakout rooms. And so I invite you for this moment to turn on your cameras if they're off, so you can say hi to your fellow community members, and we'll just stay in breakout rooms for 2 minutes, just so you can say hello and Shabbat Shalom and introduce yourselves, and then we'll come back together for the Baruch Hu, for a call to prayer.
You and I get one. Yeah.
Bottom left, there should be sound on. You just join breakout room. People will be joining us back. Again, it's nice to see everyone here. I hope you got to say hello. Shabbat Shalom, everyone who I haven't seen yet. It's nice to see everyone. I hope you enjoyed just getting a short opportunity to say hello and Shabbat Shalom to people, perhaps meet someone new. We'll wait. I think there's others still continuing to join us from the breakout rooms. So we'll wait just a moment. I think more people are joining us from the breakout rooms. Should be. Yep. Oh. Let's see. It's nice. Slowly they're coming in. So if you would like to rise, I see some head nods. It's nice to see everyone back. I hope you enjoyed just getting the chance to connect with one another and say Shabbat Shalom. We'll come together for our call to prayer for the Baruch Hu. And again, I invite you to sing along. It's funny on Zoom. It's a little weird on Zoom. It's traditionally a prayer said standing. I invite you to stand or remain seated, whatever's comfortable for you. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Yananai nai nai, 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 yananai nai nai. Our next prayer we're going to do Ahavat Olam by Debbie Friedman, and I love this prayer. I've said it before, but I love the Shema prayer, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, one of the most fundamental prayers in Judaism, said twice a day, that says, listen, Israel, God is one. Everything is interconnected. Everything is one. It's surrounded by two paragraphs all about love, Ahavat Olam, everlasting love God offered God's people. And then the V'ahavta prayer, talking about loving God as well and doing mitzvot. And the first prayer I think of honestly as an opportunity to think about turning inwards. It's customary to close our eyes or to cover our eyes. And I think about this first Ahavat Olam as an opportunity really to turn inwards, to find that at the core, the divine spark at the core of us, sort of who we are, that place where we can access love of ourselves, love of others, to access that. And then we recite the Shema. And then the second paragraph, the V'ahavta, we proclaim our love to the world. We teach it to our children. We bind it to our arms and our head. We put it on our doorposts. We put it everywhere. And so it's really this opportunity to think about internal love and then bringing that love into the world. Again, please join us. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu v'shofteinu,
נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. חיינו, לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יום המוות. Menu le'olam, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael. Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. And we proclaim our love. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'b'shokbecha u'vkumecha u'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We turn now to the Micha Mocha that the Israelites recited upon crossing the Red Sea and entering into freedom from slavery. And we were doing this prayer in a tune. We did this prayer last week as well in this tune. It's to the tune of a psalm called Esa Einai, and it's looking for God's help. And so it's really, for me, it's really special to be singing the tune of that song, seeking help, really reaching out for help upon entering into freedom, upon crossing the Red Sea, completing sort of a dangerous moment and feeling the safety of being of the moment of safety of crossing the Red Sea, sort of not knowing what the journey in the desert is going to look like, but sort of that moment of relief of not being chased by the Egyptians anymore. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nezar b'kodesh, norat tefele, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli Adonai Gal Yisrael. Yeah, nai 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 nai, yeah, nai nai nai, yeah, nai nai. Nine nine yeah nine nine yeah nine nine yeah nine nine. move into Vishamru, the prayer sanctifying Shabbat and offering us presents. Never before, I think, did we need Shabbat as much as we do now. This opportunity to rest, to be present, and to recharge our souls. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz uvayom ha'shvi'i prayer. Again, I invite you to sit or stand as you feel comfortable. And we'll start with this little meditation. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. We begin the Amidah by evoking the names of our ancestors. And I invite you to think about who are the people that you're calling upon right now for help, for support. Are they loved ones that you're with? Are they loved ones that have passed away? Are they loved ones that perhaps live far away? Are they friends? Are they family members? Are they God? I invite you to think about, again, we evoke the name of our ancestors, reminding us that we are not alone. We have the people that came before us to hold on to support us in our challenging times. And just a reminder, also, we're in the period between Rosh Hashanah and Yom that we add on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we actually add into our prayer, into our Amidah prayer on Shabbat as well. So we'll be singing those. So we're gonna, you'll recognize that tune from the high holidays. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imaot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava. Zochreinu L'chaim, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, V'chotreinu B'Sefer HaChaim, L'mancha Elohim Chaim, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. I invite you now into a moment of silent prayer or meditation. Hashiveni ve'ashuva, Hashiveni ve'ashuva, Kaddish, Kaddish. Kadesh, Kadesh, Yameinu, Kekedem. Kadesh, Kadesh, Yameinu, Kekedem. Hashiveni ve'ashuva, Hashiveni ve'ashuva. Kadesh, 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 Yameinu, Kekedem. Kadesh, Kadesh, Yameinu, Kekedem. Hashivenu v'nashuva, Kadesh Yameinu Kedem. Return us to you, and we will return. Renew our days as of old. So we'll now move into the Mishaberach prayer, our prayer for healing. And our world is in need of a lot of healing right now. We continue to have racial violence against poor people. Our world is on fire, right? Continues to be on fire. Our country is in need of healing. Our world is in need of healing. And many of our loved ones and those in our community are also in need of healing, not just from the COVID-19 pandemic, but from all sort of illnesses. And we wish them healing of the body, healing of the spirit, healing of the soul. Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, ve'Leah, hu yavarech ve'yirapeh et hacholim, all those who are ill and in need of healing. And tonight, in particular, in the Temple Sinai community, we're thinking of Robin Barinholtz, Amy Perlman, Abby Haupt, June Zeiner, Jim Zeiner, Jody Kleiman, Gilbert Kleiman, Ronnie Meckler, Allison Santucci, Meredith Fine, Deborah Kaplan, Nicole Morris, Silma Grubert, Luann Luce, Ben Slavitt, Alan Brackup, Tyrone Cushing, Evelyn Opat, Cantor Sue Knight Deutsch, Samantha Kramer, Michael Ben Bluma Vishmuel, Don David Ben Ezer Vachaya, Davida Emanuela Bat Yecheskel Ephraim, Shoshana Bat Moshe Ubella, Ephraim Ben Malka Rachel. And I invite you to add the names of those you're thinking of in the chat and you're praying for their healing. And we'll turn to the words of our Siddur. We'll turn to the words of our Siddur and we'll recite the Debbie Friedman's tune for Misha Berach. I know it's a favorite of many people's. And again, we wish a refuah shlema, a complete healing to those named aloud in the chat or in our hearts. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to lives of blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Again, we're wishing all those named a refuah shlema. So we'll turn now to a brief Devar Torah. Great. So as I mentioned earlier, this Shabbat is a special Shabbat called Shabbat Shiva, the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur during the Aseret Yemei Tshuva, the 10 days of repentance. This Shabbat is meant to focus on tshuva, the idea of return and repentance. And yet, I have to admit, I have been in a state of shock since learning of the passing of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which has pushed me to think differently about teshuva this year. There's a Hebrew term called gadol or gedolah bedor, a great person of a generation. And I am feeling the loss of this particular gedolah bedor, the loss of a great woman, who she is, the friend, the parent, the trailblazer, the fighter for justice. And I am feeling the fear and anxiety about what her death means for the state of our country and democracy. And so I want to attempt to honor RBG's legacy tonight, to pay my respects to her as she sits in state by talking about the idea of Tokha, of rebuke, something Justice Ginsburg so thoughtfully and artfully engaged in throughout her life's work. You may be thinking, what does Tokha, what does rebuke have to do with teshuva, repentance, or return? They seem completely unrelated, maybe even at odds with each other. But I want to offer that the goal of both Tokha and teshuva is to create change, to encourage ourselves, and perhaps others as well, to do better, to become the people we say we want to be, to ensure that we are living out our values. The Torah states that rebuke is a mitzvah. The rabbis take this one step further and speak to the value of Tokha. In Genesis Rabbah, it states, Rabbi Yossi, son of Rabbi Chanina, said, reproof leads to love. As it says, reprove a wise person and they will love you. And he continues, love unaccompanied by reproof is not love. Part of loving each other is giving and receiving tochacha. That is part of life and part of any healthy relationship. We saw this displayed so poignantly when witnessing and reading about the relationship between Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Antonin Scalia, who despite strong disagreements on nearly every issue, never shied away from tochacha and were the best of friends. The text continues. Reish Lakish said, reproof leads to peace. Hence, and Abraham reproved Avimelech from the book of Genesis. Such is his view, for he said, peace unaccompanied by reproof is not peace. For peace to be real, to be sustainable, it must also involve tochacha, the ability to call out when things are done wrong, are unjust, and the willingness to hear that tochacha and change to do better. Peace is not achieved by the avoidance of confrontation and hard conversations, but actually only achieved through them. The rabbis of the Talmud cite several different reasons why the holy city of Jerusalem was destroyed. One reason cited in Tractate Shabbat is because the people of that generation did not give tochacha. They did not rebuke one another. The text says they lowered their faces to the ground. They remained silent. They simply went about their business as usual and did not speak up, even when called upon. This reasoning implies a society that remains silent, that does not fight for justice, is bound for destruction. This is all hitting close to home right now, as we are watching our country and its leadership threaten the very core of democracy. But our fate has not been sealed. We have a role to play. We will not remain silent, and we will offer tochacha to one another, to our institutions, and our leaders in the hopes that we can all act better. This week, we learned that none of the officers involved in the murder of 26-year-old EMT Breonna Taylor would be charged for her death specifically. This decision highlighted how broken our system is, that the law is only working for some people and not for others, something RBG fought hard against. The decision and the many others like it continues the reality in our country that Black lives simply do not matter. Our society, our state institutions, our communities, and us as individuals are in desperate need of some Tokha around racism. By failing to charge these officers, we continue to imply that their actions and the actions of many other law enforcement officers are okay, that they do not need to confront their own internalized racism, and that the systems and institutions they work for do not need change. However, this is not what we stand for, and we must give Tokha rebuke and continue to do so. We need to hold our institutions, law enforcement, and the justice system accountable. And hopefully, with this Tokha will come sincere teshuvah, an opportunity for us as individuals and as a society, for institutions and the people who represent them to acknowledge their and our harmful actions, to take responsibility for them, and to commit to changing, to doing better, and to recognizing the value of all lives. By giving this Tokha, by continuing to fight for justice, we honor Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Gedolah Bador, who dedicated her life to promoting equality, to fighting for those who are oppressed, and making sure that all people are given access to the same opportunities and given a voice. We commit ourselves to honoring RBG's legacy by acting for justice, by working towards creating a world where this becomes a reality. Wednesday and Thursday, Justice Ginsburg's coffin sat in repose on the steps of the Supreme Court, giving the public an opportunity to pay their respects and mourn the loss of this great woman. The words "equal justice under law" engraved on the facade of the Supreme Court stood right above her casket. However, they ring especially hollow right now as we heard the news out of Louisville and watch as our political leaders in elected offices and on the courts continue to undermine these very words. This sight underscored how much further we as a country have to go. Those words will not be true until all Black lives matter, until justice is sought and applied equally across the lines of wealth, class, and race, until the legal system and the justice system works for all and not just some. On this Shabbat Shiva, we commit to giving and receiving Tokha in order to act better, to fight for justice. May the memories of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Breonna Taylor guide us. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to the Elenu Prayer, the Elenu Prayer offering this prayer of hope, of trying to create the world that we want to live in. And I just want to remind you, this summer we changed our practice in Temple Sinai, and we are now reciting the Universalist text. So it's the one that I have on the screen. I don't think I shared my screen yet, but I will momentarily. So the one that I have on the screen. Aleinu l'shaveach l'adon hakol, l'tekiru l'yotzer breshit, shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser aretz, u'moshav yikaro v'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo b'govei meramim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu al ken nekavel lecha Adonai Eloheinu lirot mehira b'tiferet uzecha letaken olam v'malchut Shaddai v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai Echad, U'Shemo Echad. We recite the Mourner's Kaddish now. And tonight, we're thinking of all those in our lives who have passed away recently or who have passed away this week on the Jewish calendar. and we say, may their memories be a blessing, zichronam livracha. On this day at Temple Sinai, we're remembering the yortzites of Maurice Alcon, Ike Apfel, Siegfried Fred Brand, Linda Cohen, Rose Fox Fine, Milton Flyer, Leonard Zeller, Eva Glick, Renee Kay, Albert H. Levine, Robert Perlman, Sarah Rabinowitz, Sylvia Richmond, Adele Richmond, Leonard Paul Skolnick, Fred Carr Sr., Minnie Stein, and Ronnie Hamburger Waldorf. And in the past 30 days, we remember those that have died recently, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We remember Lillian Sokolow, mother of Rena Sokolow. And Rena, I saw you on the call earlier. We offer you our condolences. My grandfather, Herbert Brenner, Stephen Narva, son of Temple Sinai member Sierra Narva, and Ethan Gordon, friend of Temple Sinai teens, a Crane Lake camper. Please recite, Lillian, I see a few in the chats, but please recite, please share in the chat the names of others you're thinking of tonight who've passed away. I see one, Lillian Kelman, who's yortzeit. We're remembering mother-in-law of Tammy Kelman. And I see Steve Shirk and Carol Koval as well. Again, feel free to name others you're thinking of and remembering tonight. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be a blessing. Again, those named in our hearts, those named aloud or in the chat. We'll turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, and I want to invite you, it's actually not in the book here, but again, on this time between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, there's a special insert into the Mourner's Kaddish. So I will be adding that as I recite Mourner's Kaddish. Please join me. Yid Kadal v'Kadash Shemei Rabbah, v'Ama Divrach Yirtei v'Yamlich Malchutei, v'Chayechon v'Yomechon uv'Chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, v'Agala uv'Zman Kariv v'Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam olmei olmaya. Yiparach v'Yishtabach v'Pa'ar v'Tromam v'Yitnaseh, v'Tadar v'Taleh v'Talal, Shemei Dekudasha Brichu, le'ela ule'ela, min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim alenu, v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. We turn now to announcements. There's lots of stuff going on. As I've mentioned, Yom Kippur is coming up. Yom Kippur begins Sunday evening at 7:30 is our Kol Nidre services. Please join us on Zoom. All the links are posted on the Temple Sinai website. And then services begin Saturday, 9:30 for an all community service, 9:45 for an interactive family service. And then throughout the day, Torah service will begin at 11:30. After a short break, we have several different options for you in the afternoon, and our Yisker service and Ne'ilah service will begin promptly at 5:30 in Monday evening. Please join us. Jeremy, I believe, is going to post a link to the Oneg following this. Please join us for a Zoom Oneg following services. Also join Rabbi Vogel tomorrow for Torah study. It's Parshat Ha'azinu, as I mentioned, should be very interesting. Torah study is at 9 a.m. on Zoom. Again, the link either should have been emailed to you or should be on the Temple Sinai website. The last high holiday announcement, please continue to donate to the Grow Clinic. The deadline is after Yom Kippur, so please donate food or donate money. Our office assistant Paul Kelly is in the building, so he can let you in, and you can donate food. We have lots of amazing adult learning opportunities coming up this Sunday, not tomorrow, this Sunday, but the following Sunday, October 4th, Milt Kornfeld will begin a class called The Plot Against America. We also have this amazing opportunity to learn from a rabbi in Israel thank you to the Israel Committee for putting this together with Rabbi Golan Ben Chorin, I think his last name is. That's Sunday, October 4th at 3 p.m. And then a Sukkot celebration with him on Thursday, October 8th at 11 a.m. So he's in Israel. So it's nighttime or evening for him, but daytime for us. And we're really excited to be able to have this opportunity to learn with him. Again, there's mindfulness and meditation, lots of great adult learning opportunities. And just one Shabbat I want to put on your calendars. Friday, October 16th is our grandparents, grandchildren, and special friends service. I invite you, if you have grandparents or grandchildren or special friends who you want to introduce to Temple Sinai, everyone is welcome. It's going to be a joyful, lovely service, and we're excited to be able to welcome your loved ones to Temple Sinai. So we'll conclude with the Kaddish, with the prayer over the wine. I realize it's gotten dark here, so you probably can't see me so well, but it's still nice outside. I'm looking for the words to screen share. I'll find them. Great, so we join. Please join in the Kaddish. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat l'chaim. And the hamotzi or challah is inside, but we say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And we'll leave you with this tune from Psalm 27, the psalm we recite during the high holiday season. אחת שאלתי מאת השם, אותה אבקש. אחת שאלתי מאת השם, אותה אבקש. שבתי, 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 וואו! שבתי בבית השם, כל ימי חיי. כל ימי חיי, שבתי, 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 וואו! שבתי בבית השם, כל ימי חיי, כל ימי חיי. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Nice to see you. Please join the Oneg. Shabbat Shalom. And Gamar Chatima Tova.